Hey, I wanted to kind of make a video talking about um, where I'm at, how I've been, what's going on, and I thought, no better way than to send my thousandth ToB and then talk over it as some background footage. I was pretty excited to kind of get together and start doing this because this is something I haven't necessarily done before. All of the work I've ever done before in the content space has been live, either doing commentary for Smash tournaments or just streaming on Twitch. But this is something that is brand new to me. And anyway, you saw the title of the video. I won't beat around the bush. I did lose my job, and it sucks, but it's something that I'm definitely used to already. This has happened to me again 1 year ago. So I'm in a position right now where I just kind of want to leave the company as fast as possible, just get the hell out of here. Um, so essentially what's going on is, I made a big move when I was younger, and I moved about 700 miles away from my family, my friends, from Smash, from pretty much all the communities I was a part of. Um, and I started a new life in the South, and I moved in with my girlfriend, who is now my wife. Best choice of my life. But I got this job working at a call center, and this call center, because I was unemployed when I had just moved down here, and I didn't have any prospects or anything that I wanted to do, and I ended up finding this place because they were the only place that would take me, to be honest. Um, and it was easy, you're just taking phone calls in an office for a company. That's all it is. And the company that I worked for was a customer service contracting company. And that's important because they basically supply the agents and the equipment and everything that encapsulates having a call center for customer service. And they just sell that contract to companies that don't feel like supplying that themselves. So let's just say you're a grill company and you are only really impactful to needing, to your sales in the summer. And you only need support for the summer. So you're going to just sign a contract for like 4 months to get a bunch of people at a call center to take your calls for you. Just send one person over, fly them out, have them train the management there, and then the management handles everything, right? So that's just kind of the environment of how my job was built. And it sounds cool because you get to change things, you get to learn new things, whatever. But it's actually incredibly flawed. Um, because of the headcount changes and because of how they treat you, you are essentially just a number. If you are the top performer, you can stay as long as you like. If you are not the top performer, you are moved. If there is an opening, if there is no opening for you to move to, you are fired. Your job title doesn't matter. Your tenure doesn't matter. And sometimes your performance doesn't matter. Because if relations above you get bad, your your boss and the client that signs the contract, they could get into an argument one day while you're just minding your business at work, and then all 150 of you don't have a job anymore because they rip up the contract, right? And basically, I'm waking up every single morning for the past 7 years and wondering, do I have a job? Every single time I open my eyes, every single day, I ask myself the question, am I employed? And I don't wish that on anyone. I really don't. And it sucks really bad. um, but as I was saying earlier, this past year, I got accepted for a huge promotion within my company where I was a salaried manager, making more than I had ever made before with this company and in my life. And it was sustainable and it felt good. And things were looking great. I was, the top performer on the team. I was the rank one manager for the entire period I was there. And I get pulled into a call one day and I get told, hey, we know that you're the top performer, but we're stepping you down. Now, this sucked. I was really upset, especially because I did nothing wrong. I mean, I did every single thing that I could have done, and I also exceeded what I was supposed to be doing. I was going above and beyond, and I was worth way more than what I was being given credit for. So there we were. I was sitting there going, wow, I really didn't feel appreciated as an employee, as a supervisor, as a manager. I felt like all the tasks I was taking on didn't make sense to do anymore. My motivation was gone. And here we are now. So when I had first been demoted, it was back in May, and they brought me down to back to that shift supervisor role um, that many companies have, where you're just kind of a supervisor, but not really. You don't do the administrative work; you just kind of oversee the floor. Um, and so I was doing that for about a month, and then they demoted me again. No warning. No, hey, there's something you could work on. Just moving you around to, in quotation marks, adjust to client needs. Um, so then reactionary, react, whatever. As a reaction, I went onto my internal job postings in my company to find out that the United States was just removed from the drop down menu. It's just not there anymore. India, Honduras, Philippines, Jamaica, that's it. And that's when I realized we've outsourced so much that the company doesn't even want United States employees anymore. And the company was founded in the US. So this this sucked to see and to hear. But all of that to say, there's silver lining in this. And it's that I could definitely find a better job now. There's nothing, surely, there's got to be something out there that I'm qualified enough for that can allow me to succeed and have peace of mind knowing that when I go to sleep at night, I know that I will have a job that I have to go to the next day. Whether I love it or hate it, that's up to whatever's next to decide. But as of right now, I would just like job security. Regardless of my performance, I did not have job security. My coworkers, my friends that I had made in that company, they also felt the same way that I did. People were trying to get competitive edges over each other just to keep their pay for an extra 2 to 3 weeks. It all sounds highly illegal. It does, but they get away with it. They get away with it. You look in the paperwork, you look in all the documentation that you end up signing when you accept the offer, and you're basically locked into it. Um, and yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst environment that I've ever seen in a job. It is mental torture, especially if you have a family. And my wife is pregnant and she's 6 months along, and we're having a baby in October. We're having a beautiful girl. And we're so excited. The baby's healthy, wife's healthy, everything's good. But I can't help but feel under, some sort of pressure because, I don't have a very, very strong, consistent source of income right now. I did when we decided we were going to have a baby, and I should have known better because I just explained to you that the entire ecosystem of this company is horrible. Um, but for some reason, I thought it was going to be fine. And it's okay. It's not like I regret doing this. It's just I need to be very serious about what I do next. And it's very important that I'm serious about this. I really can't change my course off of anything other than being career focused right now. And I'm just applying for jobs every single day, interviewing with companies. I've got a ton of call center management experience. I've got obviously public speaking experience with being, doing Smash commentary. I can translate that into other things. There's a lot of things I can do. And, I am nerfed severely by not having a college education. I do not have a degree. I just went straight into the workforce when I was a kid. So I, wasn't able to really capitalize off of that either. So I'm just kind of looking for things to do, looking for things that make me happy. And, this is an opportunity for me to escape that horrible, horrible corporate environment that I was in. It was so toxic and so bad that literally anything would be better than that. So I did get offered a demotion role as an agent. So I kind of am clickbaiting you because I'm not technically unemployed, but the salary is so low. The hourly wage is terrible. It's not livable for me. It's really just not. So we're looking for another job. I'm basically just pretending as if I don't have a job anymore. Um, But with that all being said, you know, we're here recording a YouTube video right now. You've got me doing this theater of blood, and I'm just talking, right? And that leads me to the next part. Oh, my alarm went off. I hope that didn't pick up on my microphone. But anyway, so that leads me to my next point, which is I'm trying new things. I am taking this opportunity to really sit down with myself and think about, while I'm on this job hunt, while I'm changing careers, while I'm on this huge crossroads of my life, the most pivotal my life has ever been and probably ever will be, thinking about what could be something that makes me happy, what could be something that makes me feel fulfilled, because that job did not give me fulfillment. When you are at a job and you know that your performance will not affect the outcome of anything, you start to try a lot less and you start to play RuneScape on the job a lot more. And that's just something that's going to happen because you know you're not valuable. And when you know you're not valuable, you approach work in a different way. Your mental health is different completely. There's a shift. And even though it's nice to work from home, it's still horrible. I mean, my mental health had never been any lower knowing that I was just a number and that I didn't matter. Anyway, you know, I'm thinking about my new job, whatever it's going to be. I've been applying around. I've got interviews. It's likely going to be okay, but um the main thing I was thinking about is starting new projects. And I've always been the kind of person to never finish a project. Uh, for example, oh God, there's countless examples. I have documents and notepads and all this stuff in my computer, just half completed projects or partially completed projects. But I just never felt motivated enough. Um, I never felt like my back was against the wall and that I needed to change before. I kind of needed to hit this low in order to really understand, why I act that way and why I do the things the way I do them. And it just comes down to being complacent, being comfortable. Because in my job, you just lay your head down low and do nothing and play video games all day, and you get paid a kind of shitty but okay salary. And that was enough for me. I mean, I don't buy anything. I don't need much. I'm a pretty low maintenance guy, and in order to just leave that complacency, leave that level part of life where it's consistent and nothing's changing and it's not bad, it's just okay. That was toxic for me because I didn't feel like I needed to push myself or truly do anything new, and I just let all my projects go rot in a folder in my computer. They could be games that I was working on making, scripts that I was working on writing for the games, could be, YouTube videos that I made that I just never uploaded, series with accounts that I progressed. I I would do a series and think about uploading it to YouTube and have the first like 3 to 4 episodes created and then just delete them. I don't know what I was thinking, but now I have all this footage on my computer of just random things and nothing actually links together. And then I think to myself, well, since nothing links together, I shouldn't put it out at all. I'm kind of an idiot. But something about content creation that I've always enjoyed is kind of making people smile. And a lot of people have told me in my friend groups and people that I've played games with and people that I've spent a lot of time with in my life, they tell me that I would make a good content creator. I'm goofy. I guess I'm funny sometimes. I'm not perfect. I think being imperfect at this game is actually kind of its own charm to it in a weird way. Like being able to make mistakes and have people laugh at your mistakes is kind of big, and I would never feel bad about that. Part of the reason my friends even raid with me is because I am an X factor in content. You just never know when I'm going to do something stupid. Like right here, I have my smite prayer on. Yeah, there we go. See, what a great segue. Look at me. I'm mad. I'm shaking my camera. Yeah, this is a re-recording. I think I forgot to mention my previous audio got completely corrupted when I did my initial recording, and that was unfortunate, but whatever. I think this was a blessing in disguise because then I was able to, re-record and have clearer thoughts and whatever. But yeah, guys, so I'm also doing this on World 416. I should have probably raided with some friends, but I don't know. I just kind of felt bad if I invited my friends to a my 1000th ToB, but I just didn't talk to them and talk to you guys instead, which is what I ended up doing here. I was just kind of yapping the entire time, half paying attention through this raid. I know, excuses. But anyway, so I want to be a RuneScape YouTuber. This is what I want to try. I don't know if it's going to take off. People told me that I could make it. People told me that maybe I'd be worth watching, but I need to figure out exactly what that would be, what that would look like, um, and if that would be entertaining. And for me, I just got my Infernal Cape. I got it about a month ago. In a couple of days, it'll be a full month since I recorded this video, and I was so happy. I mean, I hadn't had my cape for years, and I kept trying, and then I'd give up, and then like a year later, I'd try again, and then I'd give up again, and my friends were flaming me, and they'd be like, "You suck," and then I'd do anything else in the world, any other achievement, they'd be like, "That's not the Inferno," and it was toxic and annoying, but I did end up getting the cape, so they can all shut up now. And, I asked myself a very dreadful question when it was over. And I said, now what? And I think in life, when you don't need to do anything new, just like how I explained earlier, if you have nothing that motivates you or you don't have a next step lined up for yourself, your now what is going to it's going to hurt a lot more. And I thought about this is just RuneScape terms, but I kind of had this now what situation in life where I don't know what to do next. But I think the beauty of it is I can do whatever I want next, right? I'm talking to the internet right now. This video could get 0 views. I don't know. This could just go to the void and, maybe I try this content creation thing for a little while and it doesn't work out. Or this could change my life. I have no idea. But you miss every shot you don't take. And I I don't know. Anyway, now what, right? So I thought about it, and I know for a damn fact that I'm not going for Grandmaster in this game. I'm not getting a Zuck helmet. I'm sorry. I am not a perfectionist by any means. I don't intend to be that way. I care a lot about things that I'm passionate about, obviously, but not enough to remove all imperfections in any way possible. Um, I do think that adds kind of some of my charm that I just kind of play the game how I want to in my own quirky, imperfect way. But everybody pays their own subscription in this game. They can choose to do it how they want. Some people lock themselves to a region. Some people play defense restricted accounts. Some people play irons. Some people buy their stuff, purchase fully progressed accounts just because they don't feel like making one. And I guess it's other people's money. People do their own thing. But for me, what makes me the happiest when I play this game is getting pets. I think about my highest highs ever, and it's pulling pets in this game. I My first pet that I ever went for was my Phoenix pet. My name's Risen from the Ashes, Phoenix. It ties together, okay? And I thought it'd be a cool pet to go for. And while I was going for it, I went incredibly dry. I think I got almost 3 full 99s in the fire making skill going for this Phoenix pet. It took me so long that one of my friends even made a meme Twitter page about it, um, talking about has Risen gotten Phoenix yet, and all these other people making fun of me for it and whatever. But I'd finally gotten it, and I still think about that rush when that pet showed up behind me that day. It was years ago at this point, but I want to chase that high again. I really enjoy pet hunting. I still don't have the Verzik pet. This is technically a pet hunt in disguise, but I'm 1,000 theaters of blood deep right now, 140 of those being hard modes. Make that make sense. The rate's 1 in 650 as long as I'm not dying every room. Um, but I go dry for pets. It's something that I do. I have a couple that I spooned. I'm not going to pretend like I'm completely innocent, but the ones that I want tend to be the longest. At least I like this content. But anyway, this is a pet hunt in disguise. I think I want to pet hunt. That's something that I want to do in this game. And maybe I'll just share it with you all. I don't know if it's going to be something that's interesting to watch. You guys can feel free to let me know. Shoot me a message, put a comment down, whatever. Let me know what you think. Is that something that you would actually watch? Just me posting clips of me hunting for pets and doing content in the game and just kind of hanging out in calls with people and whatever funny things happen, just show up. If that's something that you would enjoy, let me know because I really need some sort of affirmation, maybe some sort of guidance would help. If you have any stupid ideas, let me know. I mean, it could be anything. The two things I like doing more than anything in this game are PKing and raiding. Those are like my favorite things to do. But um, I'd be willing to try new things. So, I've been talking for 21 minutes straight. I've covered a lot of topics. It's been, you know, it's been a good video so far, but it's been long. And I wonder, like, you know, if this is if this is like something I should probably shorten or something because this is a lot of yapping. But I appreciate you guys listening so far. If you're still here, I think that's really cool that you just kind of wanted to listen to me ramble. But I spent pretty much half this video talking about how much I hate my job, and that's enough for me to try new things. And even if this doesn't work out and I make no money, I still always wanted to do this, and it would be really fun to just make videos anyway. Even if I'm making absolute paper, it's fine. I'm still going to be looking for a job anyway. It's not like I'm putting all my eggs in this basket because that's completely unrealistic. Everybody knows that this isn't something you should drop your entire life for until you really make it. So we're just going to do it for the love of the game. I think that's important. I think if you lose that feeling of the love for the game, then everything shifts, right? So maybe I should just keep doing it that way. In terms of other projects I'm working on, a couple friends and I are working on a game. I have, um, I've been applying for Super Smash Bros. Commentary gigs again. I know it sounds ridiculous if you're not watching this video from the Smash community, but it's something that I do on the side. So hopefully we get accepted for some gigs, make a little bit of side cash while we figure out what we want to do with our lives, and then you know, raise our daughter in a world that I'm comfortable raising her in. As you know, the world as it is right now isn't very good. Everything makes you feel uneasy. It's almost a tactic to live your life in fear these days. So I just try not to. I try really hard not to live my life in fear. I just want to do what's right for me and my family and my own peace of mind. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to have fun. I want to make people laugh. I think that's what I was, put on this planet to do. Just be a vibe for people. Give somebody an avenue to just escape. Because I know I needed it when I was a kid. I didn't quite fit in with anybody. Family life was rocky at times. I just really wanted to, have times where I just got away from it all. And that's what RuneScape was for me. I've been playing this game since I was 11. I had to lie about my age. Don't tell Jagex. Back in 2006 when I made my account. Maybe 2007. But I want to do that. That sounds really fun. It sounds like something I'd really enjoy doing. As you can see here, my 1000th raid finally completed. Didn't get a purple. Personal dry streak of 51. Not a big deal, really. That's not that bad of a dry streak, but um, yeah, here's the chest, here's the loot. We ended up getting kind of garbage. Still no pet, but I didn't really expect to get the pet on the 1000th. It is what it is. We are coming up on the end of this video here, so I am going to wrap it up. Let me know what you think I should do. I am likely going to do pet hunting content, but if I get a better idea that I really like, I'm going to go ahead and stick to that instead. Here's my cape. Look how beautiful. I'm very happy with that. Honestly, this thing's just going to collect space in my bank, but whatever. Still cool to have it. Nice little achievement. I never posted my collection log. I'll go ahead and throw that on screen at some point. I'm going to go check my times on the recording in a second here. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. Thanks for letting me yap for so long. I really appreciate you. If you stuck around, it means so much. Um, I'm going to do a lot more lighthearted content from here. I just wanted to, update my friends mainly because those are gonna be the people that I'm actually gonna show this video to right away. And, tell my RuneScape, my League, and my Melee friends, hey guys, this is what happened to me, and this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm gonna proceed. And we'll see if it sticks. We'll see what happens. Um, with all that said and done, I'll see you guys in the next video.